Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are live from Mindset Monday, and today we're going to make sure that you guys crush. It's crazy to say this, but crush your 25 fourth quarter goals. And it feels like, for me, it feels like the year just started. This one definitely went by in a blink. I think there is something too, as you get older, time goes faster. Okay. Or at least it feels like it does.
I think kids accelerate that.
A little bit. I would say that. I would definitely say that. As someone that has an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old and now a 16-month-old out of nowhere. Yes, I get that. Feels like it flies.
Sure
Um,
does.
yeah. So guys, we'll talk about how to crush your goals. I mean, the first thing is like being clear on them, and like the biggest thing is making a plan and starting at the end. Meaning, hey, this is where I want to be on January 1, 2026. All right. And then you have your big goals and then you break them down into small goals. Now, I'm going to tell you something. The reason we do, at least with my companies, we do what's called a quarterly meetings. And each quarterly meeting is broken down into weekly meetings. We got this from the book Gino Wickman, Traction, right? And so we have things that we want to accomplish for the quarter, and then things that basically the week to week is how we're breaking it down into actually accomplishing those things. Now, what I will tell you guys is there are sometimes things change. Okay, you might have one goal or strategy and realize, hey, this is not the winning formula right now. So for us, one of the things that we changed on is we have internal agents and external agents. Right, internal agents are agents that come in, they're in the office every day and they work, from let's say 9 to 6, and they crush it. They just help our clients get the right type of financing to grow their business. And there's a bottleneck because it takes time to hire and takes time to train. Now we have all that dialed in. We have all of our SOPs, we have all of our training things. But one of the things that we recently decided was, hey, let's grow the outside model. And the outside model is people come on, they learn from us, they work from wherever they are at home. They pay a small fee to be part of the platform. We train them, we show them how to originate and generate leads. Okay. And then they get the lion's share of the commission. Right. And we do all the back end work. So we do all we get the deals approved. We help them make sure everything's right, get the deals funded and across the finish line. And then they get paid the following month for what they did this month. And, I've had some people make some real life changing money as an outside agent. And so that's one of the things that we decided that we were going to focus on because that scales faster, right? It scales faster and there's less friction. And so that's something that we changed. And so our goals that we set January 1 don't necessarily align with that now. And that's okay when you're doing these things. But yeah, the first thing is being really, really clear about what you want and then breaking it down into micro little steps. Okay. And making sure that you can hit those steps on a weekly or monthly basis whenever you need to. Dave, what else you got on this?
Yeah, to touch on that first part of vision and having crystal clarity, right? It's got to be crystal clear, exact, right? It's not just, hey, I want to hire all these people and I want to move forward, right? It's, hey, we want this amount of number, we want to hit that mark by this date, right? You hit it, great, awesome. If you don't, reevaluate. One thing I wanted to add in this before we get further, and it's something that I don't think a lot of people overall kind of think of goals, like how they work in the sense to drive the needle. It's when the goal is really the roadmap of everything. It's not, hey, business just needs to do this. Well, okay, well, how are you going to get there, right? It's not just X's and O's in the business. It's what do you want else attached to it? Well, I want to move to a new zip code. I want all my people to be six-figure earners, right? Like what is attached to what's going to make the business move? And I think it comes down to two things. The goals are supposed to create accountability and the standard. And I think everybody should have those two things written around your goals, right? All the time. It's okay. Well, now this is the sense of accountability. It's not just written down and like push off to a side. No, when you have that roadmap clear and concise, okay, I'm accountable to these goals, not only for me, but for my people as well, for their goals. And then this is the standard. How do we get day by day, week by week, month by month? What is the standard in order to achieve that? And I think when you look at it from that lens, it kind of paints the picture that, hey, this is important. I need to like look at these things. I can't just either have them in my head, which most people do, or just written down and forget about it. And I think the other thing with that too is you got to look at them more often, right? You just don't want to look at it quarter by quarter or week by week. I think you should look at them at least 2 or 3 times a day, and have trigger points. Shit, man, something didn't go wrong. I have this problem. And all of a sudden you're just sitting back in your chair like, man, what's going on today? Right. That should be a trigger point right there. All right, hold on. Let's stop, refocus. All right. Got it. All right. Yeah. Fuck that. We're done. Let's go and move forward. You don't lose focus of what the task and the goal is ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely great to pick you up when things aren't going right. It kind of keeps you out of pity city because you can't stay there for too long. No, I'm serious. Like that's what it does. Like same thing with vision boards, guys. Like we've talked about goal setting a bunch of times on here, but like the vision boards, it might actually change on you. Like if you go back to the one I did probably 3 years ago, I think I got almost everything on there, knock on wood. And I need to make a new one. And some of the things that were on there changed, the car I wanted changed to a truck. The boat I wanted changed to a smaller version of the boat, not because of what was available or what I could do at the time. It was, I really didn't want to take care of a boat that large, right? Like you don't think of these things and the daily like upkeep and actually using them. And that actually served me much better because I barely go on this boat as it is that I have. Like, I'm on it once a month if I'm lucky. And so like those things are going to change, and now I know that I need to make a new one because I have a different driver, different goals. And this goal has nothing to do with me. It's actually a pretty awesome work of charity that'll get a lot of homeless people off the streets. Okay. And so that's something that has evolved over time. Now that's firmly going to be on my new vision board. But when you guys are doing these goal settings, try to break it down into those smaller steps, right? And make it so it's manageable. And if you can get, quarterly goals down to monthly goals and then monthly goals down to weekly goals and weekly goals down to daily goals, you're going to have a much higher likelihood of actually getting it done. All right. And what I mean by that is if you have to, let's say, bring on, okay, this is great. If, just for easy math, let's say there's 90 days in the quarter and I have to bring on 90 people for my outside program to grow my company. What does that mean? Well, that's 30 people each and every month. Okay. And if you break it down a week, that's roughly about 7.5 people a week. If you break it down by day, it's one person a day. So, okay, if I'm going to get 90 people into my organization over the next, quarter, I have to basically get one person a day, right? That's a lot easier, more manageable to think about and to achieve than just say, all right, I'm going to get 90 people between now and the end of the year, because you drive yourself crazy. But if that's just one person a day, and on the days that you get 2, you're actually going ahead, and your goal should be to try to hit 2 every day, right? That makes it even easier to accomplish. Does that make sense, guys? Like that's how the best companies and the best entrepreneurs and the best operators break everything down. All right. And they make it simple and they make it into smaller bite-sized steps. All right. They don't look at a huge task. Like, do you think Elon, his goal is to get to Mars? You don't think he has that broken down? Right. He's not just going to wake up one day and be like, all right, we're ready to go to Mars. No, that's not how that's going to work, guys. All right. Have you got anything else on this?
Yeah, when you do break it down, because I think the most important thing with goals, even if they are crazy, right, like going to Mars. So when you break that down, that creates the belief and the certainty. It's like, oh shit, man, I'm going to get into Mars. Okay, well then what if we break this down and reverse engineer it? What are the steps to get there? It's like, wow, this looks, I don't want to say easy, but it looks a little more simplistic to do now, right? Now you have now you have a roadmap. Now you have a vision. And I think the last thing that ties this all together is it's just time, right?
Yeah.
If you sleep 8 hours a day, what are you doing in those 16 hours? And we've talked about this all the time about dialing in that calendar, maximizing every 15 to 30 minutes, day in and day out. And I think ask yourself, if you run that for 365 days consistently and habitually and creating the discipline to do it every day, what is your, not only the end of this fourth quarter, but what is 2026 going to look like for you?
Yeah, it's huge. Absolutely huge, guys. So, all right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Share this with someone that needs to hear it, and we will catch you on Financial Fitness Friday. Have a great week, everybody.
Be great, y'all.